So today is my 32nd birthday, and I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to record this video for you. Now, I want to be able to show you in this video how you can start to make changes all the way from the inside out. So the first thing I'd like to talk about, and it's something that I'm so passionate about because I know it's the first step in making changes. So the first thing we really need to know is we must assume responsibility for our life. You see, when you assume responsibility of an ownership for your life, you refuse to buy into excuses and reasons as to why you are like you are or how your life is. You see, the past has brought you to this point, but you do not have to allow the past to dictate even your future. You see, if you refuse to buy into reasons or excuses as to why you are like you are, it will allow you to instigate change. Because many people will blame people in their life, their past experience, the economy right now. But just blaming pushes everything outside of us. And the reason why I say it's important to take responsibility is because if you're pushing outside of yourself, you're unable to change the situation. But whereas if you really assume responsibility and take ownership over it, you then have the ability to do something about it. Now, I'm not saying that by assuming responsibility, you give your power away to other people who may have wronged you in the past. I'm actually saying the opposite, because if you assume responsibility, it means you keep the power, you take ownership, you actually get empowerment. Because when you think about it, reasons are excuses, and those excuses validate your present situation. It gives reason for your present situation. But if you move from the effect to the cause, which means you assume responsibility, you then get empowerment and success. Anyone who's made changes in their life has had to take responsibility. The world didn't make it happen. The people did not just make it happen. They had to instigate that change. I mean, I really believe if you conspire in your favor, I believe the world will conspire in your favor too. Because it's not what life brings to you, it's what you bring to life. So the first key step is to assume 100% responsibility for your life, for your goals, for the direction that you're heading. Because we take in millions of bits of information into the brain through our 5 senses every second. And our brain will delete, distort, and generalize certain pieces of information based on your belief systems, your values, your past memories. So we got to ask ourselves, what are we deleting? What are we distorting in our world? And what are we generalizing? I mean, generalizing could be if you've gone through X amount of experiences and it didn't work out, you start to generalize that's the way it's going to always be, or all men and women are going to be like this, or I'm always going to be bad with money. Those generalizations are things we can change. We can change how our brain deletes information, all by being conscious. You see, as that information enters our brain, our mind filters it out based on those beliefs and values and past memories and personality types and so on, and especially what you feel in the present moment. So if we're deleting and distorting those, we must shift really those belief systems. We must take action upon what we want. We must look for examples in the world where people have. That will start to change your inner filters, and therefore you'll begin to perceive a new way. Because if you focus on something long enough, your brain is geared up to seek more of the same. It seeks out things of a similar nature, same thought process, same feelings that you have. So if you're really focusing all the things that you don't want, guess what? That's what your brain is looking out for. It's the power of focus. Your brain looks out for the things which are of value to you, but it doesn't really filter out whether it's good or bad. It just goes by your suggestion. And that your suggestion is your focus, your thoughts, and your feelings. So as soon as we begin to master our thoughts, and really how we master them is by being conscious of them and catching ourselves in the act to then focus on what we want. Because if fear creeps in, or if doubt creeps in, or you have that negative thinking, it's your job, your opportunity, your signal to focus on what you want. And as you continue to switch it to what you want to achieve in your life, or if you switch it to gratitude or for success, whatever it is for you, you're telling the system of you to seek out more of that. We just have to assume control over it, and that's where the responsibility kicks in. We must be conscious of what's really happening beneath the surface. You see, imagine like an iceberg. At the tip is your conscious mind, and beneath that, beneath the water, excuse me, beneath the water is your unconscious mind. But you can really allow that message to come through by just changing your focus, putting your attention more frequently and more consistently to your desires. For where it be, as I said, if you have gratitude for something, have feelings of where you desire to be, your focus brings things to life. Your focus dictates where you're heading. So forget about the past and where it's actually brought you. It's what you do here. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. It's what you do here which really counts and matters. As soon as you switch your attention when those negative thoughts creep in, you will start a new routine and a new habit, a new way of being. And that is really two fantastic keys to making changes. Assuming responsibility, and when you think about it, put your focus where it needs to be. Catch yourself in the act. Because usually in life, people just allow that to happen beneath the surface. But as soon as you start to make that change and focus on what you want, everything else will begin to be in sync. When you go on the inside universe of you, you will transform the outer universe. I really believe it's just getting the brain to work for you. Because if something's not going right in your life, it really means your outer rapport with yourself. If you're running limiting beliefs, or if you have certain habits or behaviors or negative emotion, your outer rapport with yourself, maybe been programmed by your past and maybe programmed by what society thinks you should be. But the day you begin to become conscious and realize your value and your self-worth, which to me is always more than you could ever imagine, you will start to shift your attention. You will shift your energy. I mean, think about it. Your thoughts and feelings are energy. In fact, you are energy, and everything you see around you right now is energy, condensed energy. It's like we're in a sea of energy. And if you could imagine that, what energy are you tuning into? I mean, imagine yourself as if you're a radio station and you're tuning in. What radio station are you tuning into? Are you tuning into self-doubt or fear or scarcity or not being good enough? Or are you tuning in to abundance? Are you tuning in to self-worth? Because we have to change the dial. We have to shift our focus to what we want. And when we do that, I believe we will make changes. Because I really think that whatever you want wants you. But if you're unconsciously or consciously focusing on what you don't want, that wants you as well. But the day you start to change your energy and focus on what you want, you will start to, I really think you begin to attract it in your life, because your brain seeks out those similar things. It's like when you decide to buy a brand new car. You begin to see it everywhere in your reality. When you begin to learn a new word for the first time, you see that word popping up everywhere. And that is simply because your brain is now fine-tuned to it. It thinks that that's of value to it. It's important to you. But usually it was always there, but you were deleting it. But when we begin to become conscious of our desires and we put our attention to where it needs to be more consistently than ever before, you will start to really make the changes that you desire. So to really take inspired action on this, know your outcome. It's like a satellite navigation system. When you turn on your sat-nav or your GPS, you put in your location. You don't put in the places where you don't want to go. And that's exactly what happens with the brain. If you're focusing, I don't want this, I don't want that, your brain, the internal GPS or satellite navigation system of you, will seek that out. So put your outcome, your destination, to exactly what you want. I always ask myself, I want this or something better. Because when you say I want this or something better, your brain, your mind and body, the universe, whatever you believe, will get that or something better, because you never know what's around the corner, and there could be something even more value to you very, very soon appearing in your life. But we have to begin to put our attention there. When we put our energy there, when we tune into that station of abundance or that new partner or that perfect health, your body will become in sync with it. You will get into rapport with yourself. Now, a simple way of getting into rapport with yourself, and this is something that I really use very, very often, is as I go to sleep at night, I begin to review my day. I ask myself, what have I learned from today? What have I learned? What messages have I got? What is the common themes which are happening right now? In fact, I say that in any thing which isn't going my way, I think, well, what can I learn from this? What can I learn which will allow me to get better and grow more? And I choose to do this more often than not as I go to sleep, because as I go to sleep, then my brain will be actually looking for more learnings. And then when I wake up in the morning, I rehearse my day. I begin to think about that gratitude. I think about and feel what I'd like to happen that day, how I'd like to be, how I'd like to act and react. And what that does, it pre-teaches your mind and body to act that out on your behalf. It's almost like we're doing things more on autopilot. It's manifesting on autopilot. It's causing you to see and look out for those opportunities which will serve you the highest. So ask yourself as you go to sleep, what can I learn from this? What have I learned from my day which will allow me to grow the next day and the following day? And then when waking up, you begin to hallucinate, feel, and conspire exactly how you want your day to be. As I said, it pre-teaches. It really teaches your unconscious mind that this is exactly how you want to be. And then, of course, we have to take action. And I like to think of taking action as in taking it inspired and massive action. Because things aren't going to happen just by themselves. As I said right at the beginning, it's not what the world or life brings to you, it's what you bring to life and what you bring to the world. And when you conspire in your favor, the world will conspire in yours. So take massive and inspired action. Learn with each and every moment. Give yourself an opportunity to grow. I mean, think about it. How often do you invest time in your own personal growth, your own personal connection with yourself? How often do you do that? Maybe once a day, once a week, maybe just watching this video or reading a book? Really dedicate more time to yourself. Every day do something, whether it be for 10, 15 minutes, immerse yourself in either what makes you feel good, getting that connection with yourself, or really educating yourself to the success that you desire. I believe we all have time. I mean, it might mean turning off the TV a half hour earlier. It might mean waking up half hour earlier. But whatever it is, I believe we all have time that it will be there for us, so we can actually create that time and put our value and our priority on ourselves. Because if you put priority on yourself, you're showing you really want something. And also the great buyback from this is other people will actually get more value from you. Because sometimes we think about, well, I've got to help all these people in my life, and we start to exhaust ourselves. But if we keep doing that, we just drain ourselves, and we don't give the people in our life the value that they deserve. But when you focus on yourself, it's like almost like when you go onto a plane and you read what you do in an emergency. It says if you're with children, you put the oxygen mask on yourself first and then on your children. Now think about that as a metaphor for life. Are you putting oxygen on yourself? Are you dedicating time and energy on yourself so then you can help others? So then you can be the most value to them? Because if you do that, you're showing them an example of how you can be as well. I mean, I get the question often, how can you change people? How can you move yourself from different situations. And I always say that be the change you want to see in others. And that means if you're focusing on yourself, you're taking responsibility, you're putting your focus where it needs to be, you're really allowing yourself to show other people that they can make changes too. You're the light even, to give them permission to make the changes as well. So really be conscious of that. Notice who you're hanging around with. Are they adding value in your life? Are they giving you, are they lifting you up, or are they bringing you down? If they're bringing you down, you have to make a decision to keep them there or to really educate them, being an example of that change you want to see in them, or set up some clear boundaries. But at the end of the day, your association with yourself and those around you are going to have a great impact on you. So really choose who you associate your time with those who really empower themselves, who you want to be most like, because that will rub off on you. So really surround yourself, maybe not with everyone, but at least a few core people the majority of the time who inspire you, who are there of a like mind, with the same energy, because that means you begin to pick up those energies, you begin to feel better about yourself. So there's so many things we can do in life to make changes. As I said, assuming responsibility, the power of focus, taking action, understanding what drives us, investing time in ourselves every day, asking ourselves, what can we learn from this? Rehearsing in the morning exactly how we want to be, experiencing gratitude. If you have gratitude for yourself, you begin to seek out more things which make you feel good. So go by your feelings, focus on your feelings which give you the most joy. When you focus on what gives you the most joy and what you're most curious about, you begin to get those empowering thoughts in yourself. You begin to seek out more. You seem to just attract the right things at the right time. And always remember, learn from situations. Don't give up. There's no such thing as failure. All there is learning how to get better and how to do things differently. So rather saying, why am I like this? We ask, how can I be different? If something fails, we go, okay, what can I learn from this and how can I do things differently? When you do that, you're telling your brain to seek out more things which will educate you, more opportunities and new ways of acting and reacting. So you see, I really believe that we are unlimited in what we can do, but we are limited by the thoughts that we have. So when you become conscious of those thoughts and you become conscious of those feelings, you begin to define the possibilities in your life. You define what is possible. You define where you're heading and where you're going. Have that definiteness for life. Be definite in your actions. Be definite in your feelings. When you become definite and you start to just do it, you start to get a knowingness and a self-belief. It can take time, so I'm not saying any of this is simple and easy. What I am saying is when you start that journey and you play it out with commitment, with action, with consistency, the world will really bring things to you. You will start to see the changes. You will get those things on autopilot. But it all starts with you. It all starts with what you're doing on the inside. And as you begin to start to make those changes and you start to apply exactly what I said, you will start to really see, and more importantly, you'll be able to feel the change within you. You'll be able to understand how beautiful and how worthy you are, how capable you are, and how much value you have to offer the world and those around you in your life. I mean, never give up. Just continue, even if you don't know this, just know from me that I really believe that you're worthy and you're capable and you're able to do those things that you desire. Do what makes you sing. Do the thing which makes you most passionate and gives you the most joy. It's all within you. And I really am honored for you to be watching this right now. I really hope you've been enjoying my audios and videos. I mean, I've been doing this now for about 13, 14 years now. I mean, a long time. In fact, almost 15 years, I guess. I mean, I started pretty young, and it's been a journey. And as I said, I'm not saying any of this is easy, but if I can let go of anxiety, low self-esteem, not feeling good enough, blushing, all those things, and even not having direction in my life, if I can do it, you can do it. Because I'm quite slow sometimes, and it took me a while to educate myself. But once I began to do that, things began to just enhance themselves. I used to just learn more quickly and more effortlessly. But it all starts with you. It starts with making that decision to take responsibility, being in focus of what you want, having that gratitude, learning and educating yourself, and visualizing where you want to be. When you do those things, you'll start to see the most beautiful and wonderful changes. You'll actually reflect your own inner beauty. You'll reflect your own self-worth. You'll reflect the success that you not only desire, but you absolutely deserve. So have the most wonderful day, and if you're liking my work and you're watching this on YouTube, for example, go ahead and leave a comment or share any of my videos. If you listen to this on the app and you're enjoying my audios, my hypnosis, my free section and everything, please go ahead and leave a review. That really just means more people feel as if there's a testimony to it, there's a testimonial to it, and they just kind of see value and yes, I'm going to try this out so they can go on their own journey. But either way, I really hope you're enjoying my work, and I'll continue to do free work and pay for the costs when it comes to the serving, because the feedback I get is quite amazing, and I'm very honored to have this opportunity to speak to you. So have the most wonderful day, and I'm going to go ahead and enjoy the rest of my day on my birthday. So I'll speak to you soon. Many thanks, and